How do you approach this jargon of toxic masculinity?
I think with my definition of masculinity, masculinity is not toxic. The absence of masculinity is toxic. Masculinity is presence. It is peace, stability, emotional regulation. It's the ability to guide and lead, to be a visionary. I find men who are truly masculine have this urge to leave a legacy, and they think, 4 generations ahead of us. They're already thinking of what they're going to leave for their children, what they envisioned for their marriage, for their relationships, and determination and such immense strength and protection and safety. That is what I think about when I hear masculine.
I would say for a man to be able to fulfill, those abilities, a man needs to be very good at making decisions, because if you are able to know what makes sense and to set aside what it's not serving you, then you'll be able to think, long term. You position yourself in a situation that you can succeed, and you bring along the whole group with you, and you can all make a party. So it requires a lot of capacity, but I think once you are able to tick, let's say, at least like 2/3 of those boxes successfully, well, you'll see the world around you will change, and it will be way prettier than you can imagine right now.
Absolutely, decisiveness and solutions. Like, men are they have such amazing. They're so amazing at creating solutions and being able to see so many different perspectives and so many different pathways, and the way they just analyze all of that, and just their brain, I think is just, very powerful.
I think it's important to analyze. It's important to take some time to think, but men need to be masters of action. Because if you end up just staying in your head, like I'm going to be open about it. I used to be an overthinker, and I still have those moments from time to time. Just I learned to notice that I'm spending too much time in my head. I need to get busy with some physical activity. I hate to wash the dishes, but sometimes washing the dishes was my best decision of the day, just because it brought me back to a mindset that I needed if I wanted to make something out of that day. So I don't care. Like, I hate doing the dishes, but sometimes I could kiss the dishes for what they provided me, because they were my salvation. So never underestimate the domestic activities, I would say. But going back to this social media, there is this whole concept now of toxic masculinity that feminists and others like to shout on us. How do you approach this jargon of toxic masculinity?
I think with my definition of masculinity, masculinity is not toxic. The absence of masculinity is toxic.
So is it fair to say that weak men are toxic men?
I would say there's a huge difference between nice guys and good men. And I think the good men are the men that have those masculine traits, that embrace them and fully have integrated their masculine and as well as their feminine side. And I think that the good guys are the ones that really hide their true intentions. They are looking for validation. They are not being honest with themselves and others. And I think that is the ones that sometimes cause harm in relationships and out there in the world, because they are not fully integrated. And and then their actions are labeled as like the masculine, but that's the absence of the masculine in those nice guys that are just really not honest with themselves, looking for validation, people pleasing, becoming resentful, holding in anger, not expressing their emotions, but trying to appear nice on the surface.
Yeah, I was actually watching a podcast the other day. You know, Chris, what's his surname? Williamson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watching a debate he had with two ladies. I can't remember the lady's name just because I'm terrible with names.
Yes.
But I love the three of them, and they were talking about this stereotype of soy boy of this current day and age. And one of the ladies, they're both British. I can't remember. I think she was a bit older, but she was spot on in her comments, and she was saying that this soy boy of 21st century, he is the equivalent of those men with long hair in the 70s, in the hippies, that they wanted to be feminine because that was the only way that they could bring a girl to their bedroom, because otherwise they wouldn't make it. So because they are not masculine enough, they are weak. The only way they have to be successful with women is be female to an extent, but they are lying because they are not that kind. They are not really interested in the woman. They're just trying to manipulate her by standing on their side for feminism and all that, just for their own purpose. In the end, they are more toxic than the people they claim to be toxic because they are fake.
Exactly. There's a lot of dishonesty with that type of person that is trying to seem like they are something that they're not, right? And that's just manipulation.
So Mike is saying weak men are a danger to society versus strong men are what the world needs. Yeah, I would agree with some of these statements. Just I don't think it's that simple, because I think there are some men who, like, now they embodied all these things. I have muscles. I scream. You know, I can make all the decisions in the room. That means I'm a man. I think, as Kat just said, a man is much more than that. I mean, you have to be a leader, but you need to bring your whole team with you, and that can bring you to be one of those red pill maniacs that I'm not a big fan of. What's your view on the red pill, by the way?
On
the red pill, you know, the likes of Andrew Tate and all that.
I'd rather take the fifth on this one. But what I wanted to say is I try not to use the word weak men. And that's because I feel like they're not fully integrated and they don't have all of the masculine attributes, but it's also not their fault for a lot of most of the men, I would say. And when boys were growing up to be men in the old days, there was like an activation into manhood,
yes.
Right? Whether that was the military, whether that was the community of men, whether that was your parents and your grandparents near you, there was this activation into manhood. And I feel like that is a lot of the times what's missing